I'm Nick Alston, and I'm quite a long-standing member of the congregation and have been involved in a number of activities in the cathedral over the years. And of course, in a couple of years' time, we celebrate the centenary. And when that comes, I will have been involved for 50 years, so half the life of the cathedral, near enough. I first got involved here in 1964, when I moved here with my parents, and I was singing at the time. I was head chorister of St Edward's Church in Romford, and I came to audition with Philip Ledger, now Sir Philip Ledger, who was then the director of music for the choir as a boy. And so that was my first involvement. I think it was 1964. It might have been 63, but I guess 64. And I've been involved, in one way or another ever since. Yes, I've had a number of roles within the cathedral. I think they've mostly centred around the music. I was at the grammar school here in Chelmsford, and through all the time there I sang in the back row after my voice had broken. And so that singing was terrifically important for me under John Jordan, who was then the director of music. It was inspirational activity, really, and I found sort of shaped my interest in music. I then went on away from Chelmsford to university, and I sang there, carried on. And then we moved away from Chelmsford for a bit. I went to the Royal Navy, so I was at sea and living in Portsmouth and Plymouth. And then when I got a job back in London, we wanted somewhere to live close to London, and came back to Chelmsford, where our families my wife and I, our families were both here at the time, and immediately sort of re-engaged with music and with cathedral life. And so I've sung in the choirs over the years, and then inevitably have got caught up with other activities when we've been here. We're one of those families who've come and gone. We haven't been here forever. We've had several periods living away from Chelmsford. But when we've been here, the cathedral has been a real home for us. My wife and I met in the youth club, what was then called the YPL, the Young People's League. It sounds of another age, doesn't it? But we met as teenagers in YPL. And we used to have a youth group used to meet after evensong, and we were married straight after university. But as our children were born, our son was baptised here. He went to the cathedral school, and so my wife, for example, was one of the governors at the cathedral school for a while. And while all the time singing in the choir, I also started to get involved with other activities. And I suppose in mid-career, in my 40s, I was a church warden for a number of years, which was a great privilege to serve the cathedral in that way. Hard work, because John Moses, who was then the provost, because it wasn't then a dean and chapter cathedral, we had the provost, with the reordering of the cathedral, which was a magnificent activity to be involved with. It's really interesting to see how the cathedral has maintained a parish feel, while at the same time it's developed, it's matured now into really a very sophisticated cathedral with a very wide ministry. I think it's to do with its heritage in part. It still has a parish. A lot of people live close to the cathedral and walk to church on Sundays, which is terrific, and that helps it keep a parish feel. But at the same time, as we reordered the cathedral, we opened it up and made it suitable for so many different activities. That really brought a lot of other things into the cathedral. We were very much the centre of the diocese, a lot of diocesan activities, a lot of county activities. We welcome the justice services, we've welcomed the senior council services here. And then as we went through with the passing of the cathedral's measure, even that seems a long time ago now, and we became a dean and chapter cathedral, we were able to maintain that parish feel, as I say, through the people, through the activities, a lot that's focused, for example, for the young people, our ministry to the young people through our junior church on Sundays. That brings to it lots of people who are wanting to bring up their children with some understanding of the faith. And I suppose inevitably it's the case that some of those parents are wanting to get their children into the cathedral school. I think we all know that, but actually I like that too, because it means that people they recognise the cathedral school is a good school, they want their children to come here. But those young people, the young families, it helps us maintain a real family feel, a parish feel, while at the same time generating a large congregation. There are, I think, probably around 500 people on the electoral roll. And within that congregation, you've got a terrific amount of resource and talent who can help grow the mission of the cathedral as a cathedral serving the diocese. I think we're really lucky to have a volunteer workforce that does offer so much time and talent to the cathedral. I was talking about this last night in the context of the current stewardship campaign with some people who are helping with that. There must be around 400 people who volunteer in different ways, and some of that volunteering is remarkable. The predecessor for the work that you, Amanda, do now was done by a volunteer, by Tony Harrington. Remarkable service, bringing professional skills in a voluntary way to the cathedral. His wife Bobby, who runs our teaching ministry, where we're able to offer educational opportunities for children from schools around the diocese. It's a remarkable service that they give very freely, and it's enabled the cathedral really at, if you like, at remarkably low cost to offer this tremendous ministry. Jane Orton, and I don't think they'll mind me mentioning names because I think that it is about people as well as about just numbers. Jane Orton, who's been the choir matron for many, many years, obviously with the boys giving so much time. The boys in the choir here sing almost every day, and they need to have somebody looking after them, thinking about them as children rather than them as singers. So that's from that top end of activity, if you like, a very demanding activity, down to the many volunteers who just do things very occasionally, maybe, well, in a wide range of activities. I probably shouldn't pull out too many, but I know, my wife is involved with the Flower Guild, and they're delighted to have people to help, maybe with the flowers just 3 or 4 times a year. So it could be from quite a small commitment up to a very significant commitment, and it enables us to do just so much. Gosh, how does it feel to be part of the choir? It can be wonderfully exciting. All of us in the choir, and I don't sing regularly in the choir, I sing when they're really short, so they have to be in real need to ask me in. But over the years, of course, when I've sung very regularly, it can be the most exciting and memorable and moving thing to do, to sing in a cathedral choir. The standard of music making is remarkably high. I remember as a boy and as a young adolescent singing in the choir, and it enables you to work with adults doing really professional activities. My son sang in the choir as well. He was in the choir for a number of years, and those opportunities to broadcast live on the BBC, many times at both television and radio broadcasts, to be able as a child to participate in that very professional and very moving activity, it's very rewarding. At the same time, it's terrifically hard work. As I say, the boys now in particular sing almost every day. It's very demanding, and we get terrific cooperation from the schools who form part of the choral foundation that maintains the music here, the 3 or 4 schools that are our key partners. So it's hard work, it's demanding. It has to be fun too, and we've had some great trips. We've had European trips, and there's going off on a bus on the ferry to sing in some of the wonderful cathedrals in France that we've done. There are lots of good memories too. So hard work, very rewarding, good fun. There are up days and down days, but people wouldn't do it if they didn't enjoy it. I think being a city certainly helps place the cathedral right at the centre of the county and as the diocese. I think that being a city will draw a spotlight on Chelmsford, which it deserves to have. It's a really interesting and important town, and the cathedral is an important part of what is now a city. It'll be hard to shift the mindset from thinking of it as a town to a city. But of course there are opportunities for the cathedral, and I think it's important that we take those opportunities because the church generally is under a bit of pressure. I think it would be fair to say there are lots of challenges for the Church, and for the Church of England perhaps in particular at the moment, but to be a really active, vibrant, worshipping community at the heart of the county in this city of Chelmsford is a real opportunity. It's an opportunity for us to help churches maybe around the diocese that are not as lucky as we are. It's an opportunity for us to maintain really high standards of worship of all sorts. We need to be innovative as well as traditional. And to think about the teaching ministry, so many ministries, and reaching out to the people of what is now the city of Chelmsford, which is done week by week, day by day. We are open here at the centre of the city, and that's very important. Gosh, how to get involved with the cathedral? I would say, firstly, come along and worship with us, because it is a worshipping community. You know, the gospel should be at the centre of what we do here, and I think it genuinely is. But then it's a question of being bold just to introduce yourselves. If people haven't introduced themselves to you, then be prepared to introduce yourself to people who are around, and explore what goes on. Ask about what the activities are. Ask where the needs are. And there always are needs. Although 400 people are involved in volunteering, there are always unmet needs. And there are also new ideas. I'd say to anybody in the congregation or who comes to the cathedral, if there's something you think we're not doing well or not doing at all, then do offer to get involved and to help. Because there are new opportunities every day, and certainly new needs every day. But speak up is what I'd say. Introduce yourself if you haven't been talked to, and I hope you would be talked to, but if you haven't, introduce yourselves and ask what's going on and ask how you could help, because everybody can help. I think Chelmsford Cathedral is a truly welcoming place. There's a wide range of worship offered here, and there are a wide range of activities that are serving both the members of the congregation, but more particularly serving the people of the town and of the county. I should say city and the county. I think there's some wonderful activities that are serving the city and the county of Essex. And it's a happy place too. We have fun. We have fun week by week.